I just wanted to show you how to make this do-it-yourself wand box, and it's basically for party favors. So yes, there's going to be a fold line in it. That's just because it's a template that's going to be on 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper, and you can customize these to be anywhere from 8 inches to 16 inches as far as wand box size. So if you wanted to have many different wands in size for your party, that's totally doable. It comes with a little take care of your wand and how to use your wand guide, and so that's what you're going to be seeing for the inside. And this also has I think it's 4 different options for the interior. There's red velvet, gold, silver, and kind of a parchment look. So you can choose whatever you want for the inside. And just to give you kind of a look on the bottom. Also, in my shop, you can get the little labels for the tops. So it'll actually say what kind of core your wand has for your party guests. There you go. We're going to show you how to actually make this. Okay, so I'm really quickly just going to show you how to size a wand box for a wand. So this is the one that I have, and it's just under 12 inches. So I'm going to make a box that's 12 inches. And some of the tools that I like to use for cutting up any of the printables is like scissors, a ruler, a tack. That'll come in useful. I'll show you more about that later. And a regular glue stick. I like to use Elmer's. I don't use the dollar store brands because they tend to not stick very well. Okay, so first I'm going to do the, these are all the different pages that come with it. So these 2 are the inside, and you'll need 2 of these per box. You're going to need 6 pages altogether. So that one's the inside, and this is an extra optional page. This is just kind of a slip it in the box afterwards type thing. Okay, so this is the top of the box, and there's 2 of them, and then there's 2 of these bottom of the box. They look pretty much identical, except that there's like slight differences so that one can fit inside the other one. So I'm going to start with the bottom. And basically I'm just going to cut it out. And as with any of my products, the tabs don't matter as much, like getting them exactly, because they're going to be folded under and glued under the other portions, and so getting them exact isn't important, but getting the other lines pretty accurate is pretty important, just if you don't want there to be excess like stuff showing through, like white lines. There we go. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to leave this gray part, but on the other one I'm going to cut it off because we only need one for one side. We're going to glue, basically like it'll be glued on top of this, so we won't need this part. And actually, while I'm here, and I like to use rulers. You don't have to use one because you can just fold it on your own. But anyway, so this is basically a little bit less than 8 inches. And then I'm just going to measure this one and make sure that I've got the 12 inches from this line here to make my wand box. So if this is just under 8 inches, then I'm going to go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm looking at just over 4 inches here. So I'm going to make a cut somewhere along here. It doesn't need to be perfect, because the wand can have a little bit of room to move around there. But yeah, I'm just gonna like make a mark with my fingernail. Actually, I'm gonna use the tack for this. I'm gonna go 4.5. I think that works pretty good. And then I'm just gonna do the same here. So 4.5. You can't really see the marks that I'm making, but you can do it yourself with a pen or whatever. Okay. So now I'm just going to cut that there. And I'm going to want to do this to the top of the box as well. So I'm going to finish cutting this one, and then I'm going to use it as a reference for the top of the box. Now this is one of the first videos that I've done on this camera, so after I finish this cut, I'm just going to really quickly check and make sure that the camera is still filming. Now that I've got the bottom, I'm going to do the top of the box and just kind of cut it the same. So one of these is going to be cut exactly the same, no need to do any adjustments. Just cut it out as shown. And I hope that you can see all this really well. Like I said, this is one of my first times on this camera, so I can't really tell what's working and what's not, but anyway, so there's that one, and then I'm going to do the same to this one, except that I'm going to make that mark like what I did before. I'm just going to use my tack and my ruler here. Okay. And I'm just going to give that a quick snip, and then I'll put it together and show you the inside of the box as well. So the great part about it is that you can actually make a whole bunch of different sized wands for your party, and then make different sized boxes according to the sizes of those wands, so that you don't have to be limited to getting a whole bunch of boxes that are the same size, and therefore you have to have wands of the same size. It's kind of fun if you have at the party a whole bunch of different sized wands if you wanted to. Not that you have to, just that it's an option, and that's one thing that's great about these wand boxes. Okay, so I'm just going to clear off all this excess stuff. I'm going to use a little bit of the glue and do some folds, but before I use the glue, I'm actually going to take the tack and just run it along these lines. So I'm going to just go along the fold lines, along the dotted lines, and give a little bit of pressure. It just makes it way easier to fold along the lines that I want to fold. You don't have to do this, it just makes it a little bit cleaner for folding and cutting and gluing. Okay, so just as an example, now that line and these lines just kind of naturally do their thing. And so I haven't like pushed all the way through, obviously. It's just enough for that crease to happen. So I'm going to do that with the other boxes as well. I'm just making sure that I know which one is which. Yeah, they're pretty much identical. That's good. So the bottom one has, I don't know if you can see it at all with this camera, but this one is pretty plain, and this one has the top of the box design. So this one has the extra design, and this one has no design. So that's how you can tell if it's the top or the bottom. But anyway. Just going to do a little bit more of this. And also one other thing that I forgot to mention is that if you wanted to, there are labels that you can get from my shop to go on top of these boxes, like Phoenix Feather Core and other things like that have, anyway, you can cut out the labels, and so you can put those on top of these boxes to make them look just extra fancy if you want. And it also comes with an Ollivanders wand shop sign, so you can hang that above the boxes to display your wands and all that. Makes it pretty fun. I like to actually get galleons from like the dollar store. Not that they have to be actually galleons like Gringotts galleons, but I think that one already worked. Yeah. But like the dollar store chocolate loonies, those work really well. And after I finish this, I'm just going to check my camera again, make sure it's still filming. Just a little bit preoccupied with that worry here, but okay. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to check my camera, and then we're going to glue these together. And then we'll do the insides. I'm going to do these ones next, even though I just said I was going to do those ones. So these are the insides, and just like the other one, this has a little gray area here on both of them, and I'm just going to cut one of them off and keep the other one. And these are going to be fitting inside these boxes exactly, so I'm going to use them once again. References, cut one of them short. So here we go. Okay, and then this one I'm going to mark with the tack, and while I'm here I'm just going to use this one as a measure. I could have probably marked it with 4.5 and measured it and all that, but I don't need it exact. I'm just showing you guys how to do it, so if you wanted to, you could go to that length of just making sure that it's going to be the exact you know, there's not going to be any crooked lines going on here. Mine very well could be crooked because I just kind of eyeballed it. But it doesn't really need to be that accurate either. I don't think, but then again, you might want it to be absolutely perfect, which is cool with me. And if I was doing a bunch of them, I would be doing them all at once here. So, don't need this piece anymore. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little bit of the ruler stuff. So you're going to be doing it along this crease here, and here and here. You won't be able to see it too well if you don't have as good a printer like mine. I put it on a setting so that I'm not using as much ink, and so it's harder to see the lines. So I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera, but there's 2 lines in the middle that I didn't put dotted lines because I wanted it to have that kind of velvety effect without that interruption of dotted lines that make it look like something cheap. So you just have to eyeball it. I don't know if you can see very well. This is what it kind of should look like, except that I'm probably folding it the wrong direction. But you can see there, that's where the line should be. So there you go. And then this one you're going to fold this way. Okay, so this is kind of going to fit inside the boxes. You should be able to see now that it's kind of coming together, so that's how it's going to look like kind of inside the box. And we're going to do this one too. Oh, except that I don't need to do a line on that one because that one's just, yeah, sorry. Don't need to do a line there. But over here we will. And over here we will. Once again, the middle. So we're going there. And there. Okay. So now this one I'm going to fold this way, and then these ones fold down. Okay, so now that I've got all those creases, now we don't really need the ruler anymore, and we're just going to glue this piece on top of that piece, just like that. And I'm going to slip that inside the boxes in a little bit. And once that's glued, you just need to push down and hold it for a few seconds. If you've got really good glue, it shouldn't take more than a couple seconds. If it's cheap glue, hold it longer. That's really the only way that you're going to be able to get away with it, using cheap glue. And I've done that before. Okay, so there you go. So there's the inside of the box, and you can see like this is where the wand is going to rest and all that. And now we've got the top of the box here. This is the corresponding piece. Just put a little bit of glue there. And we'll do this one. There we go. And then, now I'm going to glue this one in. And how I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to just put glue here and then put it face down onto this wall here. So that's how I'm going to do it. I think that there's many ways you could do it, but this is how I'm going to choose to do it this time. And also, just as a side note, this line here, I'm actually choosing to do it opposite where this one would be. So instead of doing it this way, I'm doing it this way to give the box extra structure, because this is where the weak point is going to be and this is where the weak point is going to be. So this way they double up and you save that strength. Okay. So now I'm going to do this other side. Same type of strategy here. Just gonna fold it over and put it in there. So. And here we go. Put that in like that. And then just kind of fold it over and put some pressure on it. Looking pretty good. Okay, and then I'm just gonna fold these tabs in here, give them a good glue, and slip them in like that, if you can see. And then do this side as well. It's coming together. It's looking pretty good. So it'll look like that at this point. So I'm just gonna glue these tabs in. And I believe this box setup, you can have, oh, I should probably actually have that on the inside. So what I'm trying to do here, I actually probably should have done this a little bit differently. I'm going to slip it in between these two here. I think that'll give it a little bit more sturdy footing. Anyway, and then I'm going to do this one over here as well. So anyway, I think these boxes you can do anywhere from 8 inches to 16 inches as far as wand size. So it's pretty, what do you call it? Oh man, I really should have done that afterwards. So I guess put the tabs in first if you can. That's probably a better idea. And if you're following along, oops, I should be the one who knows what I'm doing. But anyway, hopefully you're not following along. But yeah, 8 to 16 inches. So it gives it some good flexibility as far as size. There we go. Okay, so now you have the bottom of the box. Pretty simple. I'm gonna put the wand in for now, and I'm gonna do the top of the box. So for this one, I'm just gonna glue the tabs, and then it's just gonna slip over top. So tabs time. I'm sorry, I've got a little bit of a head cold today, so you might hear some sniffles. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna hold those a little bit longer down here. And I'm just going to give these an extra little pinch, because along here you've got doubled up paper, and so it's a little bit tougher. So the other parts will probably bend a little bit easier. There. Okay. So now that should fit over top really nicely. Just like that. And, yeah, there we go. Cool. And so if you wanted to, and this is something that I've done many times with other wand boxes, but with this one it's hard to gauge exactly where you would want this because the boxes are custom sized. So I wasn't going to put it on the actual template, but one thing that I do like to do is actually cut a little thumb hole here and a little thumb hole here on the lid. So I'm just going to do that right here. Pull out the bottom of the box and just kind of cut a little circle. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. It's just to give your guests or whoever's going to be using these a little bit of an extra hand in opening the box. So just like that, right? And one over here too. So there you go, and then just pop that on top. And so one thing that I do want to do as well, just while I'm here, and I've got your attention and everything, oops, sorry, one piece came undone, and that's probably because I didn't hold it long enough. So I'm just going to reglue it. One thing that I do want to do is just slip in this extra piece here, which is the Ollivander's new wand owner's guide, which is kind of fun to have in the box when your guests first open it. It's got little instructions on like how to take care of your wand, how to use your wand, you know, make sure that you're not pointing your wand at yourself when you're casting spells, because you might, you know, do some danger or do some damage. And then it also at the bottom has a little place where you can name your wand so that the people are feeling more connected to, you know, the party favor of the wand, and I think it just adds that extra little bit of feeling like you're really part of the Harry Potter world. So that's pretty fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with the ruler on the other ones, and you just kind of do a line right in between the two colors. I've color coded them so that you can tell where the pages begin and end. And there we go. Now, got that one, and that one. And you can see there's like the intro and little instructions, and then down at the bottom, that's where you can name your wand. So I'm just gonna pop this in here now, and pop in the little wand owner's guide. And there you go. You've got a custom-sized wand box for your party.